What are the signs of depression in a teenager? We know that during the teenagehood period, teenagers have mood swings. There are moments they have highs and they have lows. But now we want to look at the signs of depression, whereby you're not confusing them with just having feelings of sadness that they can go through every once in a while. So the first thing, usually they need these depressed moods that we're about to discuss, they need to have been there at least every day, most of the day, for 2 weeks. That is usually when we can give the clinical diagnosis of depression. But ideally, even these moods can happen on and off. And for instance, we can start with signs of depression in a teenager. They have this persistent feeling of sadness, emptiness, and hopelessness. So when they talk to you as a parent, you can feel the sadness and that feeling of hopelessness, like, I have no meaning in life, I don't think I'll pass my exam, I don't think anybody likes me, and they are just sad, and they are just feeling excessively sad. The other thing is a loss of interest and pleasure in things that they used to enjoy. If it's hanging out with friends, if it's playing video games or watching movies, they all of a sudden do not have interest in all that, and they just want to sit by themselves and not talk and not associate with people. So when you see that, and it's most in most activities, and not just specific ones, because sometimes they might lose pleasure in things they are not interested in. But if you notice that the things that they really love doing, they do not want to do it, then that can be a cause to worry, and they just want to be alone by themselves. There's also, you'll notice significant weight changes. If their weight will not have changed, but you'll notice their eating pattern is a bit different. For example, a teenager who used to eat normally, they eat like enough, they begin to refuse food that they enjoy, not just any food that they do not like, but all kinds of food they no longer desire to have them. Others begin to eat extra, they solve, like, they feel they have to eat in excess, more than usual. So that could be a cause of concern, which is, maybe you need to notice that if it's, as teenager, they eat a lot. But if you notice that they have they're overeating and they're feeling sad and they want to eat on their own, this can also be a sign of depression. There's also insomnia, and this is lack of sleep or excessive sleeping, because everyone is different. When you're a teenager, because we know during the teenagehood period, they sleep a lot. But sometimes you'll notice that they desire to sleep in excess, and they sleep and they do not want to get out of bed in the morning or even in the afternoon when you call them. And others, they lack sleep. They tell you, I have not slept the entire night, or I don't feel like sleeping. And most of the time when they lack sleep, they are just thinking about the hopelessness that they are feeling, and the way life is not working out for them. If you inquire the reason for the lack of sleep or what they are thinking at that time. There's also a fatigue and loss of energy. If they had a lot of energy before, you'll notice that they feel fatigued and they are not doing a lot of work, or they do not have enough energy even to do the activities that they like. And then there's recurrent, in the extreme point, there's recurrent thought of death and suicide. And these they may not share until they talk to you or you ask them how they are doing. And you can start, for example, you can just tell them on a scale of 0 to 10, how depressed do you feel or how sad do you feel? If they're on a scale of around 8 and 9, you need now to start having the discussions about suicide and the idea of thought, the idea of death and the idea of dying. If they'll start saying that my life will be better, or the troubles that I'm going through will end, or people will miss me, and that is when my life will have meaning. That is when you might need now to seek outside help apart from you having a conversation with them, and a counselor will help in this situation to talk to them and help them seek to resolve the challenges that they are having. And so these are just the main signs. So most of the time, do not confuse your teenager just going through the motions of being a teenager of sadness and a bit of feeling worthlessness and hope that they feel because of the identity crisis they are going through. You need to go through these symptoms and check if it happens very often. Every day, most of the day, for at least 2 weeks. And if there's a break in between, but if you as a parent, you know your child, and you will know when it is going to the extreme level. And that is it for the signs of depression. In the following video, we are going to talk about what you can do as a parent to help your teenager who's going through depression. And for that, please subscribe so that you can be notified when I'm making the next video. See you next time.